Hello, flosstube. Good Friday to you. This is Shelley from Proverbs 31:22, and today is Good Friday, April the 10th of 2020. Um, and I'm doing a new video. Got a few things to share with you guys, so I'm off work today and got some things finished and progress made on some projects. So, and a little bit of haul. So, a little bit of a life update today. This a little bit more where you can see this quilt behind me. So on last video, I had shared about my daughter, my younger daughter, Lakin, being sick and being tested for the COVID-19 virus. She is feeling much better, and thankfully her testing was negative. So we were very relieved and thankful that she's okay. Hubby and I are still working. We both work for companies that are considered essential. And so we both have our little letters that we have to carry with us because as of 5 o'clock last Friday or Saturday, I don't remember which day, we were officially, like our governor officially put us on lockdown. Although I worked yesterday and I was like, you can't even tell we're on lockdown. What's wrong with all these people on the road? I mean, it just sort of looked like, just business as usual, which is a little disturbing to me. I feel like if that continues and people don't heed the order to stay home, then we're going to end up, with martial law going on. So, people, you need to stay home. Just stay home. I know it's been really pretty and people want to get out and stuff, but try to just stay home. So, I don't know, sometime within the last week or so, I actually got an email from YouTube congratulating me that I had reached 100 subscribers. So thanks to all of you. I appreciate it. I was excited. I'm slowly increasing. So, yay. Thanks, everybody. So this Sunday is Easter, and of course, with the situation, it's going to be a little, not a little, a lot different. Everybody's going to be celebrating, on their own at home. So I did just a little while ago, we have a group chat on Facebook between me and my husband, his 3 sisters, and then our 2 girls. And one of the sisters accidentally started a video chat. So 3 others of us jumped on and we were able to video chat for a little while. So that was a nice little impromptu surprise. I miss all of them, and so it was good just to say hey and see each other's faces and stuff. So maybe we'll try to do that again on Easter, or try to do that with our girls, on Easter. And one of my sisters-in-law was saying, how thankful she was for technology. And I agree with that because of what we're going through and the fact that we can still reach out and see one another, even if it's virtually. I did my first, participated in a Zoom stitchy meetup this past Monday, and that was a lot of fun. That was with Becca with Sambry Stitches. I've talked about her on here before. She has a group in Washington State that meets weekly on Mondays, and so since the lockdown, they've been doing it virtually through Zoom. So that was my first time joining and doing one of those. I thought about doing one for our group here, because I started a local group, and we didn't even get to have our first meeting before we had the shelter in place order that came down. Not order, but the suggestion that it was better to shelter in place. So we put the brakes on meeting at that point. So I had thought about doing a Zoom meeting for some of the ladies here in my area that stitch. But when I went back to the Zoom website and, just sort of investigating, starting a meeting, they charge you for, like, it's free to do 3 participants for 40 minutes. And then anything beyond that, it costs. So I'm not prepared to go that step yet. So anyway, that's what's going on with us. I am going to, I did a giveaway for my 75 subscribers, and but I wanted to just do a little giveaway, not only because I got to 100 subscribers, but I got done with a pattern and I'm not ever going to stitch it again, so I was going to just pass it along through a giveaway. So stay tuned to the end of the video for information on how you can enter that giveaway. So my previous stitching is the quilt that's on the wall behind me. And I guess I should have looked up this. This was one that I started, I want to say, back in 2008, and just finished it probably in 2015 or 16. It was a while. I pieced it, and then it took me a while to quilt it because it is hand quilted. This is a stack and whack that I made with some fabric that had bluebirds and cherry blossoms, which is, bluebirds are my favorite birds, and I love cherry blossoms. The paintings on the wall right there, my older daughter did those for me a while back, so you can tell that I like cherry blossoms a lot. So that's my previous stitching behind me. And I have 3 FFOs to share. So the first one is, where did I put the pattern? My year of celebrations. Okay. I've got FFOs and then whips that go in this category with this pattern. So I finished the April one, and this is a pattern by Hands On Design, and this is my April version. I did change most of the colors, and it's a combination of DMC and Fancy Floss colors. I had so much fun stitching this. I didn't want to put it down. I loved the little cloud and then the umbrella. So that's the April one. And when I posted that on social media, my stepmom said, "Oh, I love this. Would you, I'll pay you. Would you make me one for May, which is her birthday month?" And so I was like, I don't sell them, but I will happily make you one. So I had started on May already, because as pretty as the April one was, I knew the May one was going to be even prettier. So I just went ahead and turned the one that I had started into her present, and I just FFO'd this morning. I was waiting for a shipment to come in from Michael's with the piece that it's displayed on. And I mean, she's probably thinking she's going to get just the stitching, I don't know what she's thinking, but anyway, I did this for her. And I'm not crazy about the finishing, but it's really hard, not being able to go and like actually bring your stitching to the store. I had to go online and, just sort of look around for something that I thought would fit. So they had this pretty frame, stand frame, and I'm not sure which one of these numbers, but anyway, I ordered it from Michael's. And I also ordered, and you'll see more in my haul, but this ribbon and this little trim right here is actually part of some packages of trim that I'll show you in a minute. But, and then I had I had a fat quarter bundle with little butterfly fabrics in it. So this is going to be for my stepmom. And I think I love the stitching. I mean, just love the pattern. And so I'll get that in the mail to her next month for her birthday month. And then I also finally got finished with my Love My Stitching bag, which is the pattern's going to be the giveaway. But this is my finish. And my husband was a little taken aback when I told him, like when I got done with this, it was like, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but when I make something, I have in my head, how I want it to turn out. And 9 times out of 10, there's some little part of me that's like disappointed. It doesn't come out how my mind had it. This was not one of those cases. I absolutely love it. So I did mess up, and the fact that I used a different count fabric than the pattern called for. And so when I started cutting my pieces to make the bag, I didn't account for the fact that my bag was a little larger than what the pattern was because I used a different count. This is the pattern, and this is what I will be giving away at the end of the video. So, so they stitched it on 28 count Monaco, and I stitched it on 25 count Lugana. So I cut the strips that go the top and the bottom of the bag before I realized that, hey, my bag is bigger. So I just took this is what's on the inside of the bag. I just did a little accent and added it to make it big enough. So this is the inside. I think the pattern, as far as the bag making part of it, I think it leaves a little to be desired. I mean, if I had not had bag making experience already, it probably would have been like, I probably wouldn't have been able to finish it. I mean, maybe. And I think it could just be that, I've found that in making other bags, it's like people have different teaching and learning styles. And if your learning style doesn't jive with the author's teaching style, then, because like you'll hear people say, oh my God, I love this, this book, she does great. And I'm like, I think that leaves a little to, I just don't get it. So I think it's just, there's a disconnect between the way I think and the way they're teaching. So I pretty much just had to, at one point, just say, like when doing the zipper, putting the zipper, not putting the zipper in, but stitching it together with the bag. It didn't make sense to me. And then I was just like, okay, throw the pattern aside and let me just think about how it's supposed to come out, and then I'll do it. So when I did my giveaway on the my 75th subscriber giveaway, Becca at Sambry Stitches won the giveaway, and she is such a precious person that I wanted to do something a little extra for her. So I, did the gift card, but then I also wanted to make her a little tatted bookmark. So this is the bookmark that I made and sent to Becca. She also loves purple, so I chose some variegated purple for the middle, the rings, and then just a solid purple for the chains. So before I did that one, I was doing like a little test, motifs and stuff. So I had one that I ended up not using for her bookmark, and I decided to put it on my bag. I mean, and it just goes perfectly. It looks like it was made for it. So anyway, I'm really happy with the way this came out. And I'll show you what's in it later when I talk about my plans, my upcoming plans. I hadn't tied it in a while, so my needle was a little rusty. But it came back. So that's my FFOs, the two, the April and May, and then the Love My Stitching bag. And whips. So I am redoing the May year of celebrations for myself. And I just started it yesterday, so I don't have too much progress on it, but so these are the colors that I've chosen. And this is my progress so far. I'm not sure about the lighting. I started setting everything up a while ago, and I always have a lot of glare on my glasses. The curtains that I have in my sewing room are like a light pink, so they let a good bit of sunlight come in, which is good for the lighting, but it's not great for when you have glasses and you have glare. The glare was a little much, so I did cover the one that's like over there to cut down the glare, but I feel like the lighting's not the greatest, so I apologize, but it is what it is. So anyway, this will be mine. And I'm using some DMC and then some fancy floss. Some classic Colorworks and 1 Weeks Dye Works. The little flowers or Weeks Dye Works Amethyst. And then the little butterflies, I think, or Classic Colorworks Cerise. That came in the Floss Fix a few months ago. Okay, so that's one whip. And then I'm also still working on the bunny rabbits, even though I won't have it done for this Easter. This is the Hip Hop Chalk Foil from Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine. And that's my progress. I have worked on it some, but not a whole lot. And these are the flosses. I love them. And let's see. I'm also working on, let me show you on my iPad. So this was a free pattern a few months ago that Jan Hicks Creates was giving away. You can buy it now in her store, in her shop online, and I will link everything. I always link everything I talk about below. That's one of my pet peeves about floss tubers, is ones that don't have a single scrap of information about what they talked about. So I try not to do that because I like to know. So anyway, she was giving it away a few months ago for her celebrating her 2-year floss tube anniversary. And Mrs. Sadis did a thread pack with her silk flosses. And I've started this twice. I started it on a piece of linen that I got at Joann's, and I didn't like it at all. And so I restarted it on just a piece of Aida that I had. And this is, I believe, French lace. And I did, I don't know, you probably can see it right there. I got a little spot of blood on it and cannot get it out. And it's like I'm not starting it over again. So it'll probably, that's where the bow will go when I finish it, when I FFO it. And let's see. I did get one finish on my, the Shabby Advent Calendar by Chiori Batacchiori. I don't know how to say that. It's Italian, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, she has beautiful designs. And she did do a free one for the Be Well and Stitch. That's, oh my God, I want to do it. But anyway, I did day 13. I got it finished. We've been really slow at work, so I've been doing a lot of stitching while I'm on the job. While I don't have anything going on. Obviously, if I have a patient that comes in or someone that calls, I put the stitching aside. The mystery sow. So I'm doing the linen and threads. 2020 mystery sew along, stitch along. And this is my progress. So I actually stitched on this the other night when we were on the Zoom stitching meetup. I stitched on that motif right there. I think it's pretty, but it's going to be a big piece. Okay, and then, oh, sorry, I forgot to grab the pattern for this, but this is Jardin Privé's Quaker Noel. And that's, I've done a little bit more on that recently. And I'm using the Razzleberry color from Classic Colorworks. I sort of wish that it had, that I had chosen something that had more variegation in it. It's kind of hard to, it's hard to tell when you're looking at things online. And I did order that floss from Fat Quarter Shop, so it's not always the easiest thing to tell how much variegation things have. Okay, and I'm working on this design from Shane and Christine, Craft Room. And while I really love the colors, I think they're beautiful, I am doing the sewing machine a different color. And I'm still going to leave I did the seam ripper, the color that it's called for. Doing this button, the called for color. I may change some of the other little notions up as I go along. I'm not sure. I may leave all of those the same and just use the purple on the machine. Y'all know I had to make a purple sewing machine, right? Fold it over like this. So, sorry. So this is my progress. And these are my flosses. So I just basically went in Joann's and picked up a bunch of purple flosses because I really didn't have a lot of purples in my stash. So I just picked up several and just chose a dark, medium, and light value, and I'm just changing the sewing machine colors. And I'm really enjoying working on that piece. I want to stitch 24/7, honestly. I haven't even been able to make myself quilt lately at all, which is a little sad and disappointing to me. But I don't know what else to say about it. It's just, it is what it is. It's just where I'm at right now. I do have some things that I want to make for people for this year, so I really need to get my quilting mojo back. But I'm glad that at least I have my cross stitch mojo going, because I don't like to be just completely idle. And I also worked some on this week. This is the Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Quarterly. And that's the pattern. And I did fill up the, I filled in the H completely and got a start on the sunflower, which is the O. And I'm looking forward to having that finished. Enjoy working on it. It all came in this cute little bag. And as far as I know, they still have openings in this club. With my situation at work, I probably should just cancel all of my clubs for now, but I can't bring myself to do it. I don't know. Maybe when it gets dire, I will. And then, you know, I needed another sew along, right? Yeah, I didn't, but I cannot. I mean, when I saw this, I think I saw this on Instagram. I'm pretty sure Instagram. And I was like, I have to do it. So this is a free sew along that designer Doreen Jones is hosting through her Facebook page. It's just her page. You don't have to join a group or anything, even though I think they have a group. But you just go to her page and she has albums with all of her different free sew-alongs or free patterns. And this, let me just say, I love her charts. I had never stitched any of her designs. And she did have a sale a few weeks last week, like a 50% off sale. So I did pick up a couple of patterns, and I'll show you those in a minute when I talk about haul. But she, I had never stitched any of hers until I started stitching this free sew along, and I really like her charts. She gives the option when you go to her Facebook page. She'll have albums, and one is in color and one album is in black and white, so you can choose your preference. She So you'll have like she gave information on the pages. This is the info sheet where she's showed which part's going to come, like what's part 1, part 2, etc. And then further down, there's the colors and things. And then you have the actual patterns. And I'm not going to, I mean, it's free. I could show you the patterns, but I'm not. Go to her page and get it, download it. So what let me talk to you about the project first. So I absolutely love her colorway, but I'm a pink and purple girl, so I did change it. And I dropped what I was holding behind my project, so I gotta pick up something else. So this is my progress. So I just substituted some pinks and purples. Now we did get the part 1 today. It's going to release weekly on Fridays. So we got part 1 today, and I probably will not, like she only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 colors for the whole, that are supposed to go across the whole project. I changed the border colors, the individual pieces, like this week's pattern is a little birdhouse. I probably will not do that in the same colors. I'll just go in my stash and pick out what colors I want to use for each section. Like this is the little birdhouse. Isn't that adorable? So I'll just, pick colors as I'm going along. She did say today that, she showed and the inside borders that go around each piece, those are included in the pattern. But she did say today that she didn't think about the fact that these pieces are going to be stitched right up against the border where the back stitching is. Let me see if I can get it. So can you see where, this is the pattern, and then these little dashes along the outside, that's the border. So you can see I started stitching the border, but I haven't. I'm going to stop, basically. I'm going to not stitch the border and just wait and stitch it around each piece after I finish it. I don't know if it really matters. I mean, she was like, I think you'll still be okay, but what I took from it was that if you haven't stitched the borders, wait until after the patterns are stitched. So, a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you about as far as techniques or little tips, tricks, or methods, how I do it. I'm just sharing what I do. So I've started, when at all possible, if I can buy a PDF, I'll buy a PDF. If it's a paper pattern, I basically use my scanner. I always make a working copy for myself anyway, because I like to highlight. So rather than making a paper copy, I just scan it, and it's a little convoluted the way I have to do it because my iPad is an older model. If I had a newer model iPad, I could just do everything straight to the iPad. the way I'm having to do it now is scan it to the computer, turn it into a PDF, and like hers, these are pictures on Facebook, so I'll download them in JPEG, and then I have to convert it to PDF. So, however you need to do, just however I have to work around or do, I get it into PDF format. So once it's in PDF format, I can't air share because my iPad's older. So I have to text it to myself and then go to my messages on my iPad and pull it up from there. And then I can import it into this program that I'm using, this app, which is called, let's see, it is iNotebox HD. So I spent some time this week going in and making folders. So you can see I have my folders. And because I wanted all my X stitch to be together, and I also wanted it to be toward the top of all the other documents that I have in here, I just put a 1 and an X stitch in front of each name. So all of the ones for this garden sew along are in this garden sew along folder. And then I just click on them, and I'll just show you that real quick. So that's the first part that she released today. So that lets me, let me show you one that so I started working on this one earlier today. I did some stitching. So let me get rid of the glare. So I can just take my stylus and mark through the areas that I did. And if I make a mistake and have to read frog and read stitch something, there's a little eraser function, and you just erase the lines, and then it lets you be able to go back and stitch it again and keep track. I can't keep track just by looking at stuff, because I'm always either watching flosstube or we're watching TV, and so I have to be able to keep track of what I've stitched already. So anyway, very excited about this. So this is stitched on a piece of 22 count Aida that I picked up at Michael's, and these are just DMC flosses. The other thing that I want to talk about is how I've been kitting up. So you saw a while ago when I showed you my craft room, normally this is what I would do. Just take the skeins I need for a project and put them on a ring. Well, unless I want to buy 15 skeins of B5200 for all the projects that call for it, which I don't want to do. So I have these little Loran little project card things. So for this garden sew along, I just printed out that one sheet that had the colors on it and cut them apart. Made my changes, what colors I'm using, and then I just used some washi tape to stick it on there. You can also, I have, when I did the year celebrations May for my stepmom, I just did, wrote them in pencil. And you can just erase it. You can do it in pen and, white out it later. But I really like just being able to clip those little things apart and just washi taping them down. And then you can just pull it off. So that's a few little tips and techniques that I use. Now, what if you don't have one of these? Someone was saying, I think it was little farm quilts. that I follow on Instagram and YouTube. Um, she uses comic book boards, which I have, that I use for my wrapping my larger pieces of fabric on. And you just hole punch and mark it. So that's a really good idea. Another thing that I discovered when I was pulling threads for one of these projects, I wasn't like I didn't have it, and so I was like, I want to substitute a close color, and I've discovered this tool. It is called, it's put out by, the website is thread-bear.com, BARE, and I will link it below. But it is it's the closest DMC, and you can't see it because it's on this background, but the closest DMC thread color lookup tool. So you basically go into this little come on, there we go. This little box right here, and you put your color that's called for, and then you search, and it'll show you the closest matches of other DMC colors. That's a pretty cool tool. I've used it several times just since, I discovered it in the last 5 days. Okay, so I told you about the Doreen Jones, the Garden Stitch Along, not Sew Along. There's also another Stitch Along that is starting this Sunday, Easter Sunday, and that's what I have in my new project bag. I have all of the things that I am going to use for this sew along, stitch along. Gosh, there's 2 colors that I'm missing. Last year when I was working on my red quilt for my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, I had done an order for the quilting thread through Red Rock Threads. And they had some kind of promotion, I don't remember what it was because it was back in July, where I think you got free shipping. I think it was free shipping if you spent a certain amount, or free shipping if you bought a gift certificate or something. So I just bought a gift certificate for myself. So I used that to purchase the colors, but there was 2 of them that they didn't have. So let me find this. The only thing about doing PDF patterns is that you don't have a paper copy. Okay, so I don't want to show you the pattern. Okay, that'll have to do. So this is Carolyn Manning Designs, her shooting star, and it starts Sunday, the stitch along. So I decided to do mine on chalkboard black Ada. Basically because I have gobs of it left over from the Chalkful club. And so these are the threads. I haven't bobbinated these yet. I need to. But for now, I think I'm just going to, because I'm not sure if I have enough bobbins. And that's a whole nother story. When I, cross stitched 20 years ago, the cardboard bobbins, that I have my stuff from 20 years ago are still fine. Like they're not torn or anything. So coming back to cross stitch, bought the cardboard DMC bobbins, and they are crap. The little like these, and these are plastic, but okay, here's one. Like these are, the little slits are flimsy. The little holes right here, like I've had one already break, after, 3 weeks of using it. So I started buying the plastic ones. Of course, they're more durable, but I find that they don't. See how this is like coming undone? They don't hold this thread in place, and so that's why all these little strings are hanging. So I'm not real happy with my options for bobbinating my DMC floss. And a lot of people I know have it. They'll do their DMC just like on little stitch cards, sort of like Fancy Floss is. I don't know if I want to go that route, but I may end up doing that. So anyway, what I've been doing with a lot of these, and what I'll do with these, if you pull from the end with the number, like pull this right here, just pull a length out and cut it off. And I may just, pull them out, cut them off, and put it on that, maybe not this, maybe one of these, because there's going to be a lot of colors in this project. There's also Cobweb Corner is doing a stitch along that's going to start May the 2nd, May the 1st or 2nd, of Little Sheep Virtues. That was one of the things that I was planning on stitching for Mania anyway. And I've only bought one pattern so far. I got it off a 1, 2, 3 stitch along with the little button. The Cobweb Corner, they have a Facebook group. And if you join the Facebook group, you get a code for a discount off. So I'll probably, and she does have the buttons also. So I'll probably order the rest of my patterns, or at least, because I'm not doing, my Mania is not going to be like a start every day. I'm just doing 2 starts a week. So, I don't, I may buy like the next 4 that I want to do the stitch along for May, and then, go from there. So that's 3 new stitch alongs, y'all. And, they're more and more all the time, and I just want to stitch everything. Which is not a bad thing, but I just, before long you start feeling overwhelmed because you've got 30 projects going. So anyway, the fun part now, haul. So part of my haul was the little stand for this piece. Basically, I went on michaels.com and, got that piece, and then it was like, if you order so much, you get free shipping, and I was like, I really don't have we can't go browse, and I don't have a whole lot of finishing, like ribbon and stuff, so I bought some ribbon and stuff to finish. I have this cute little bunny rabbit ribbon. Let's see. To use to finish that. Yes. This is a possibility also. Isn't that cute? And then the ribbon that's on the piece that I did for my stepmom. I had like a 20% off code if it wasn't on sale. So, just dropped something. So they had these packs of trim bundles. So, I don't know if I got all of them or not. I mean, they were $9.99 and that was 20% off, so I got them for like $8. So there's a pastel, there's a bright, there's black and white, I think this one's called Natural. And then this one's the Christmas. So, I mean, there's just an assortment of different things in each one. And I like how it's just sort of all color coordinated. I also got this little egg ribbon. I wish I had that when I was finishing my little Easter delivery free piece. I dropped something, so I gotta maneuver and pick it up. Sorry, I'm turning my back to the camera. That's a big no-no. You get to watch me sit myself back down. This came yesterday. Could y'all hear me screaming, squealing? The Floss Fix. So this is from Fat Quarter Shop. This is Classic Colorworks. And this is one of the clubs that I was like thinking about canceling. I was like, well, I'm not canceling it till after this one comes. So there's Amethyst, Fleur de Lilac, love that, Blooming Crocus, Boysenberry Jam, Pickled Beets, and Pansy Purple. And I'm taking these suckers out to show y'all because I love purple. Oh my God. I can't even. I mean, come on. Truly, if you don't like purple, I don't get you. Look at that. Gorgeous. So I showed you these on my phone last video, but they did come in. So I got the In Command and then the Newcastle Bouquet. Look at that. Golly. I think that's all other than the giveaway. Seems like I saw something when I was. I think that's it. Okay. You know how when you get old and you say, oh, I gotta tie my shoe. What else can I do while I'm down there? While I was down there picking up the Floss Fix, why didn't I pick up this that fell a while ago? Okay. So, if you would like to stitch up this pattern, leave me a comment below and say, Um, say, I don't know, say I'd love the stitching pattern, stitching bag. What could be a good keyword? Um, just say I'd love the pattern. That'll work. Pattern. So pattern will be the keyword that I will search for when I draw for the giveaway. I think that's it. And I hope y'all all have as best of a holiday as you can. I know this is hard this year. This video was almost an hour. Why? I'm sorry, you guys. It's too long. But anyway, I hope you're able to enjoy some time off this weekend, and I hope you're able to connect with those you love, even if it is only virtually. And I'll probably see y'all in a couple weeks. Hopefully when I come back, I'll have some quilt stuff to share, because I'm feeling that, I don't know what it is. It's not guilt. It's just, I guess I feel the responsibility of things that I've said I want to do, my plans. I'm feeling the responsibility of my plans, but yet I can't make myself do them. So, oh well. At least I have my cross stitch. All right, guys. Have a good Friday, good weekend, and I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.